Arguably the world's best batsman and Indian cricket's most sought-after commodity, by the age of 23, Sachin Tendulkar's mercurial talent had propelled him to the very top of the global game. But as India's newly crowned captain was swiftly learning, life at the top could be tough. The winter of 1996 was a case in point. India slumped to frustrating losses in both South Africa and the West Indies, and with Sachin's scores for once slipping into the realms of the merely mortal, the honeymoon period for India's young captain was well and truly over.
I saw a strained Sachin for the first time, because the couple of times he spoke to me, I realized he was under a lot of pressure.
I thought he took it too seriously. Yes, you should take up seriously. Once you're a captain, you should be a serious candidate. But when you take it too seriously, sometimes what happens, you let your mind is channelized only in one section, whereas you're not open to different ideas.
The other thing I noticed about Sachin when he took over as captain was he spent a lot of time talking to bowlers in between overs and also during overs. And I think he was putting a lot more of his focus on other people in his team and less on his batting.
He himself sets very high standards for himself. And then he expects everybody to match that standards. I mean, only he can do that. And the rest of the team can't.
You could see the motive behind it. I mean, he wanted to win the game and he wanted the bowlers to do well, and the intent was there, but sometimes he was very intense.
If Sachin was feeling the strain, his performance didn't show it. In August of '97, he smashed his 12th and 13th hundreds amidst the tedium of a drawn test series in Sri Lanka. However, a new addition to the Tendulkar family very definitely threw the pressures of his public life into sharp relief.
When it started affecting me as a person, it was a little difficult to handle, because even my family members were trying their best to get me back to normal, and trying to tell me that it's only a game, and provided you've tried your best, it's fine. You go out, try your best. If it doesn't happen, fair enough, there is another opportunity. But I took it very seriously, and it affected me. But Sarah and Anjali being there and the other family members, I thought, when I spent time with them, it was amazing, because I forgot about it for some time. About cricket, I just left it on the field, and my family life had started, and it was a great feeling.
Sachin's brief window of domestic bliss was rudely interrupted in November, however, as Sri Lanka arrived in India for the start of a 3-test tour. Seemingly joined at the hip after the first 2 tests, Mumbai provided a final chance for the two sides to break the deadlock. It was a massive occasion for the boy from Mumbai, though he didn't know it at the time, provided a fitting finale to his first spell in charge of the Indian side.
All the players want to score big runs or get plenty of wickets in front of the home crowd. So I wanted to get runs in Mumbai badly, and I remember the first evening I survived a spell. I wasn't batting well in that test match, and I was very upset, so I called a friend of mine and I just wanted to unwind. So we chatted about various things. A very close friend of mine said, "Today I don't want to talk about cricket, let's have an ice cream," or something like that. And the next day I went in and I started batting well.
Boundary to bring up the half century, and that will be a big relief for the Indian captain.
I remember that particular game, I think he had not got runs in about a couple of games before that, and I remember him being a little worried about it, which I mean, this speaks so highly of his standards that a couple of failures and obviously people start expecting a big 100 from him in the next game. So it just shows the kind of consistency he's had over the years. And I think it was a kind of innings where he had to graft a bit initially, but once he got going, once he settled down, I think he really played a fantastic match.
That was one innings which really changed the game, and we were we were in control in that game, and we tried everything possible to try and get in, but I think that was one of his best innings I've seen, because he just took control from the word go, and just took our bowling apart.
100!
It was Sachin's first and only Test 100 in Mumbai, but with the Test and the series drawn, it simply wasn't enough for India's somewhat fickle selectors.
We thought that Sachin's captaincy is coming pressure on his batting, and it was hampering his batting sometimes. So as per Indian batting is concerned, we need Sachin very much as the best batsman in the world, so let him play free. No pressure, let him play free, like Kullam Kulla, what he say. That's only for that it has been changed.
Few were surprised, though most felt the decision a trifle harsh.
He had very tough series and tough moments also when he was the captain. But he without showing anything, but he led the side also well.
If he had won in West Indies, that test match in Barbados, and won the Johannesburg test match, things would have been different.
And to be honest, I just think, they're in that period. In instances, captaincy, Sachin probably didn't have the kind of background support and the kind of help that we've been lucky to have over the last few years. So from that point of view, I think it was quite a difficult time for him and a difficult stage to captain India.
We didn't do as a team really well on few games, and that doesn't say that he was a bad captain, but I think his exit then was a little unceremonious.
It was not the end of the world for me. Playing cricket is the ultimate thing for me, and I knew that no one could stop me from doing that.
Though older and wiser, Sachin Tendulkar's burning desire remained undimmed. Shane Warne and the world champions were coming, and Sachin would be ready. With the burden of captaincy lifted from his young shoulders, February of 1998 saw the jewel in India's cricketing crown prepare for one of the more climatic confrontations of his career. Warne and Australia were on their way, and while an eager nation writhed in anticipation, Sachin got to work.
He had a pitch specially made for him where footholds were dug in the pitch, and he went out and practiced day after day and worked out how to play Warne, because he reckoned that Warne would be coming at him from around the wicket, landing it in the footmarks, and that he needed to do it. And then the ball was turning off this manufactured pitch anyway when it wasn't in the footmarks, so he practiced against leg spinners there.
Occasionally I also made left arm spinners bowl there just to get practice. It was just basically getting used to that angle and just preparing myself before it.
It was preparation that paid off in Australia's first warm-up game at the Wankhede Stadium. Sachin put the visitors to the sword, and Australia's dreams of a first Test win on Indian soil in over 20 years were dealt a devastating psychological blow.
I just said, okay, fine, I'm going to play my shots, and I was batting well that season. I said, if I get the upper hand from the first game, then obviously the whole series, I have a good chance to stay at the top.
No doubt about it. I think that's any runs that you can score against the touring side beforehand is a great plus for you, because when you come out to bat, people all say, oh well, he's left his runs behind now in a game that doesn't matter. I think that's rubbish. I think if you can get yourself into good form and also get yourself in a good frame of mind against the side you're going to be playing against in a Test match, you start at an advantage.
Round one had gone emphatically Sachin's way, and in the first Test in Chennai, he duly delivered the knockout blow.
India's second innings charge was inspired by the heavy bat of Navjot Singh Sidhu, but it was Sachin's breathtaking 155 that stole the show.
I went into bat with a very open frame of mind. Sidhu had given a brilliant start. He played some seriously big shots of Vaughan and the other bowlers. So that set a nice, good platform for us.
It was a situation where the match was hanging in balance. There wasn't much to choose between the teams. In fact, we conceded a lead, I think, in the first innings. There wasn't much to choose between the teams, and it needed somebody to play a big knock. And Sidhu and me, I think, batted for a while and had a bit of a start. But after that, I think the way Sachin sort of came out and just played so positively, scored runs quickly for us on the fourth day, and probably just set the whole tone for the series.
And that's a really big one.
If you hit sort of 6 balls in a good area, the same area, short of a length just outside off stump, 4 of them it plays straight, sort of back to you or to a fielder, and then the last 2 it'd either hop inside it and work to the leg side, or give himself a little bit more room to sort of hit through covers or even through points. So I think that was the tough thing. He's a very good player that knows his game exceptionally well and sort of sticks to it. He's got a great temperament, and I suppose that's why he does so well.
I still remember him facing Shane Warne, and Warne was bowling around the wicket into some footholes which were about so round, and I thought, well, absolutely worst scenario is that Sachin will kick him away and we won't be able to get him out, but we'll stop him from scoring.
And he's going to bowl to his own set plan, and Warne has been practising in Australia. He's been working, he's had batsmen batting there, and he's been bowling into the rough stuff against them. Now he's going to do it to Tendulkar. Tendulkar's answer was just to take a pace forward to cover the footmarks and smash him into the stand. So now you've got one of the contests of all time, which Tendulkar won.
The shots he was playing were class, and I don't think anyone else would have attempted it. But Sachin, backed himself the whole way, and really took him on, and played exceptionally well.
That's when I first really knew how fast and how fit and how quiet Sachin was in leaving his crease. Some of those shots he was playing in the first test there, he was 3 metres out of his crease, plus outside leg, hitting Shane Warne against the spin over mid-wicket, and I hardly even heard him on his feet.
Looking at going, well, he's got to hit one up in there shortly, he can't keep doing this, but he didn't, he just kept smashing him out of the middle. So it was an amazing innings, and one where it took a lot of courage to go out and play shots, particularly after you failed in the first innings, and to do it against Shane Warne out of the rough was something we hadn't seen before.
India coasted to victory, and the sight of the little champion scoring runs soon became an all too familiar one for the visitors. His 79 in Kolkata was a gem, but the memory of his majestic 177 in Bangalore remains fresh to this day. India secured a 2-1 win in the series, and Sachin's bravura performance soon earned him a very special invitation.
It's one of the highlights of my career because it is a special thing to be there on the 90th birthday of Sadon, and not many people got to meet him and wish him personally, and me and Shane Warne went there, and we both were a little nervous. We didn't know what to ask him, what to talk to him, because being such a big personality, we were a little confused. So we casually asked him, okay, what do you think, Sadon, if you would have played in this era, what would have been your average? So he thought about it and said, maybe 70. So natural question was, why? Why only 70? For Sadon, obviously it has to be 99. So I said, it's not bad for a 90-year-old man. So that was funny. So he had a great sense of humor, and I was really amazed to see a man at 90 so sharp.
Sachin Tendulkar himself was at the very peak of his powers. He'd bested Warne and stunned Australia. But for India's middle-order maestro, there were still fresh fields to conquer and old enemies to be overcome. the winter of 1998, with the blessing of Don Bradman still fresh in the memory, Sachin Tendulkar embarked on yet another record-breaking run spree. September saw him post the world record 1800 in one-day cricket, and by December he'd scored more one-day runs in a calendar year than any man in history. Sachin turned on the tap in the Test arena as well, scoring his first and only Test 100 on New Zealand soil.
I remember Dan Vittoria was bowling to him, I think, and it was turning a little bit, and I remember him hitting a six off him, sort of just straight down into the side screen, and his ability to get himself out of awkward situations when the bowler has perhaps produced a delivery which most players would find difficult. His ability to adapt and almost invent another stroke to get out of trouble is quite amazing, and that's again one of the things that makes him so good.
His phenomenal run of form couldn't have come at a better time. The old enemy were coming to India, and the nation expected. Pakistan's three-test tour was their first for 12 years, and while most predicted an ugly descent-filled affair, the reality was somewhat different.
A great reception. We really loved it. Everybody welcomed us. Everybody really gave us all the respect, and every hotel we used to go, we used to get all this dancing going on, and people just trying to hug us, kiss us, you know, all tapping and all this. It was just a great feeling.
People are very friendly. You know, we can go out wherever we want to, shopping, go to places. Our families were there, so we had a great time there.
With the visitors well and truly settled in, the stage was set for a classic first test. It was a test that would see Sachin Tendulkar play one of the defining innings of his distinguished career. Set 271 to win, India were in dire straits at the close of day 3. On day 4, 40 for 2 soon became 82 for 5, and for Pakistan captain Wasim Akram, the scent of victory was in the air.
Not just me, the whole team thought just one wicket and we won the test match. And I think we got done by the genius there, who just came in and batted and just batted superbly.
Beset by the back injury that continues to plague his career, Sachin and partner Nayan Mongia set about resurrecting India's innings in measured fashion.
All I told Nayan was, you just keep playing, don't look at the scoreboard, just play, just watch the ball and play, concentrate and leave the rest to Almighty. We just have to go out and try.
They played really slow in the first two sessions. First two sessions they only got 120, 130 runs in the first two sessions.
Tea on day 4, though, heralded an unexpected and unplanned change of approach.
At tea time, when I went inside the dressing room, I kind of got an attack of cramps. My whole body started cramping, maybe because of dehydration, and it was quite bad. I mean, I went out, and again there I started cramping, and from here to everywhere, I mean, I was cramping and I didn't know what to do. And then my back started hurting quite badly. That's when I knew that there's not much time left. I just have to play shots.
When he came out, he played a couple of shots with Saklan, and I thought, okay, he's going to have a go at us. So that's where we had a mid-wicket back and then mid-on back and a couple of catching, just to put pressure on him, not to give boundaries away. But he played some amazing shots with those boundaries and Saklan, a couple of shots to Saklan. It was something new shot he played. It was not reversed, it was sweep, but it was just playing that way to his faster delivery.
He just started hitting all over the place. After that, he was only on 50, and then from 50 to 130 odd, he just went like, it was just a blink of an eye. It was just 100.
Battling pain and fatigue, Sachin's desperate stroke play inched India ever closer to their target, and Pakistan soon began feeling the pinch.
We given up when there were like 50 runs needed, because he was cruising and Nine Mungia was playing really well. We thought, we just almost gave it up, and I thought, okay, what are we going to do now? Because we tried everything, everybody bowled and everybody, so I was turning square, but he was, I don't know where he got the shots. He played some excellent shots in that inning.
The departure of Nayan Mongia for 52 not only added greater urgency to Sachin's efforts, but also threw Pakistan an unexpected and unlikely lifeline. It was one that the floundering tourists gratefully accepted.
As a captain, if I gave up at the time, the whole team would have been gone. And we knew we needed one wicket. Either him would have been perfect, or either one of the other one, or the other batsman. And then we are into the tail, 2 wickets to go. So he has to go and play shots. And obviously we were scared at the time. Not scared in a way, but we were definitely into double mind, okay, what's going to happen now, we need a wicket. So everything was going, there were a lot of things going on while he was batting. And we all knew we needed a wicket, and in the end, he just played a shot that he shouldn't have.
He's got the leading edge. Hands under it. It's taken.
Sachin's dismissal signalled the end of India's resistance, but for many observers, his 136 in Chennai remains a landmark innings.
He was battling with a sore back as well, I remember that game. And to come through that was absolutely fantastic, because always batting in the 4th innings, and especially game against Pakistan, is a huge amount of pressure. But he just showed that under pressure he's he can be expected to deliver time and time again.
If you ask me to really come up with the best innings of Sachin, this would be the one.
It's very sad that that great knock of his at Madras did not become a match-winning knock due to the others, I'll put it that way. All we needed was we lost by 8 runs or 10 runs. If only the lower down had contributed a few more runs, we would have won the test match, and that knock could have been remembered by people for years to come.
For Sachin Tendulkar, though, the plaudits and applause can only ever offer scant reward. Indian success has always been the very essence of his existence, his single-minded dedication to the cause unwavering. The next chapter in Sachin's extraordinary story would find his commitment to that cause tested to its very limits.